I'd like to make a motion to start the license board meeting for Wednesday, October 4th at 5:18 p.m. Can I get a second?
Second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved.
Aye.
Currently attending our meeting, Jose Carrera is attending remotely. Michael Marty is attending in person and he just walked in.
Yes.
So now he's here, and myself, Anthony Luciano. And because of the laws around open meeting laws around someone attending remotely, we'll have to do a roll call tonight when one of the commissioners is attending remotely. So it'll be a little different than when we're all there. So thank you. Welcome. So the first item is a hearing. So I want to make a motion to open a hearing for a transfer of license and change of category type for Mambo Cafe LLC, doing business as Mambo on 497 High Street. And they're going to be changing from restaurant license to general on-premise license. Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. So all three commissioners, so the two commissioners, oh, sorry, I gotta do it a little different. So, Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Marty?
Yes.
And Commissioner Luciano votes yes. So the motion has been approved by all three commissioners. So we're gonna open our hearing. And Alex, do you want to add anything before we start? Okay, so this is going to be a transfer of license and change of category type, and it's Mambo Cafe, and they're changing from restaurant license to general on-premise. And what's the transfer?
No ownership, so that's why the transfer of license is going to a new,
But it's not changing the name.
not change the name.
Okay.
But change of entity, change of manager,
Okay.
new person is taking over operation.
And is anyone here to speak about this transfer? Nobody's here?
Anybody online?
So, no, so the attorney was gonna try to make it because they had another meeting at this time. They never said they weren't gonna make it, they were gonna let me know.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not comfortable.
oh, I know. No, it's okay. We'll just close the hearing and then we'll get to the vote, and then we don't table it yet.
I'm
We
sorry?
just close the hearing, and then when we,
Could we leave the hearing open so that we can actually hold a proper hearing at a subsequent meeting?
Yeah, we would just continue the hearing.
oh, okay, I just thought we'd have another hearing, but we would table the transfer.
Whichever same result either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would just,
So
So-
you want me to move to close the
let's, so you're saying you want to table the hearing and then
Yeah.
table them both? Okay, I was gonna only table one, so,
Yeah.
yeah, so.
So move to table both the hearing and item,
Well, we don't do that till we get to it.
fair enough. To table this hearing until the subsequent meeting date.
Okay, I second that motion. So, Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes.
To table it?
Yes.
Okay, and Commissioner Moretti? And myself,
Oh, yes.
Commissioner Luciano votes to table this hearing. So the hearing is now closed. And now we're on to the item because it is on our agenda. And it's for a transfer of license and change of category type, Mambo Cafe. And I want to make a motion to table it.
Second.
Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Let's table it.
Okay, Commissioner Moretti?
Yes.
And myself, Commissioner Luciano votes to table it. So now we're on to the next item. Fastest hearing we never had. Now we have a change of manager. Should I take these one at a time?
Yes.
So first one is for Cracker Barrel, Old Country, doing business as Cracker Barrel, 227 Whiting Farms Road.
And they're present in the meeting today.
Good evening, Attorney John Moradian, Diomaris Law Offices. With me is Mark Smith. I see him on the video from Cracker Barrel. Tonight, we're asking for simply a change of manager to Mark Smith. The current manager, Nelson Roque, is leaving the company. Mark has worked at Cracker Barrel, I think since 2012 or so. He is Surf Safe trained with alcohol safety, as are all their employees. And any questions you have from Mark or myself, we'll welcome those.
I'm good.
Everything's good?
Commissioner Correa, do you have any questions or anything to add?
No, I'm glad they're both here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming in. And we typically ask about Safe Serve and their experience, and you gave us all that. So no, I have no further questions.
Move to approve?
I second that. Or Correa. So Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner
Approve.
Marty? And Commissioner Luciano votes yes to approve. So the change of manager for Cracker Barrel has been approved.
Great. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you. Next, we have a change of manager for 110 Grill, HM Holyoke, LLC, doing business as 110 Grill, 50 Holyoke Street. And
I'm not sure if anybody's here, but it's just a simple change of manager. All the documentation is in. So they're in good standing with the license board, with the city in general.
we usually like to know who the manager
So I
is.
printed out the second page, and that gives, this, I highlighted a crack of your, the second one, or the third one.
Okay.
And it shows the experience of the manager, sorry, the one.
Oh, employment information in
Yeah.
box 3C?
Yeah.
Okay,
And, like how many hours they're gonna be in the business, that gives the whole
do
rundown.
do you have independent information about Safe Serve?
I can make sure, that
Right.
the new manager does have that training.
Yeah, but, I
Okay,
mean, I
so we
think
can do a
those are the points
contingency.
we do like
That's the
to-
thing. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
I think.
I'll make sure.
Is Commissioner Correa able to see this sheet? Okay, so
So Jose, for your benefit, the employment information tells us that this gentleman's been with the company since January 2010 as a managing partner and as general manager since July of 2022. If I'm understanding this correctly.
oh yeah, okay.
So clearly with the company, a very long time, several of the questions just about, making sure that the certifications can't be addressed in their absence, but, Fabs can verify those. I think I'd be very surprised if someone who's been there that long in a managerial position is not, right?
Especially in the Holyoke Mall,
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Agree.
he's there for the release, right?
exactly.
I agree with you on that statement.
Yeah.
I agree. Yes.
So-
So we do a contingency for that they have, just a contingency that they have Safe Serve.
I think that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So move to approve contingent upon verification, Safe Serve.
Second
Okay.
that.
I've been seconding everything. I wanted to give him a chance to should. Commissioner, then, so we have the motion and that, so now Commissioner Marty, how do you vote? Yes. Commissioner Correa,
Yes.
how do you vote? And
Yes.
Commissioner Luciano votes yes. All three commissioners have voted in favor of this. So change of manager is approved. Third change of manager is for Mill One Events LLC, doing business as Mill One Events, 110 Lyman Street. And is anyone here for this change?
There's two on the line.
Oh,
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Craven.
hi. Thanks for joining
Hi.
us.
Sure. So
So-
I have been bar manager for over 10 years and now the old manager the event manager has left. So I'm trying to take on the management position of the bar.
Okay, a lot of experience. And you have Safe Serve training?
I do. I also have crowd management and choke saver as well.
Wow,
Great,
great. Okay.
like to hear that. Move to approve.
I second that. Oh, we both second it? Okay, Commissioner Marty, how do you
Yes.
vote? Yes. Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes. And Commissioner Luciano votes yes. All three commissioners have voted in favor, so this change of manager has been approved. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate
Thank you.
taking the interest.
Of course. Thank you.
Good luck. Thanks. And now we're on to special one-day alcohol licenses. Take them one at a time.
You can one, two, three together, because it's the same event and they're missing the same thing.
Okay, so we have Juan Montano doing business as Fiesta Café on October 4th,
14.
14th, sorry. And so this, then Juan Uribe doing business as El Paraiso Colombiano, October 14th. And Gabriel Reyes doing business as City Sports Lounge, October 14th. And now I want to take some time to review the application, so.
So this is the Paper City Food Festival event. This is their third annual year. The previous 2 years have. There haven't been reports of issues or anything. And they are just missing proof of liquor liability.
Okay, and we see that the Holyoke Police Department will be the security, so that's great.
All these are established businesses for well.
They all
Yeah.
hold annual or seasonal. They're kind of the organizers from the city right now doing all the events.
Great.
And you
Make a
said they're
motion we approve.
missing liquor liability? That's it, okay. And so you want
Make a
to,
motion we approve.
I second it.
okay,
Contingent on proof of liability.
yes.
Are you okay with that?
Jose,
Yes,
the contingency? Is that good?
yes,
Okay, so then, Commissioner Mari, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
yes,
And Commissioner Luciano votes yes. All three commissioners have voted in favor of this. Approve, contingent upon liquor liability. Next we have Ronald McDonald House of Springfield, a November 2nd event.
The charity event for the Ronald McDonald's House. This is their second time doing it at the Uribe. They do have the fire department sign off. She did provide proof of crowd management, as she did the training. She's provided the application, liquor liability. All I'm missing is the payment, but I told her when she was up the permit, she would pay.
Move to approve contingent upon receipt of payment.
I second that. Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
yes for approve.
Commissioner
Yes.
Marty? And Commissioner Luciano votes yes. All three commissioners have voted in favor. So application is approved. Next, we have Blue Door Gatherings LLC, and this is in October 20th and 25th and December 22nd. And these are going to be 100 people each. They're going to notify the police fire department. That should be 100 people. That should be fine.
They passed 1 day previously, there's never been any issues with Blue Door Gathering
Right.
with their events.
This is the picnic tables adjacent to the parking lot there.
Yep. It's like October 7th and like a market here in December.
Move to. And
Oh, wait, anything-
Contingencies.
Just payment.
Payment.
Move to approve contingent upon receipt of payment.
I second that. So Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes,
Commissioner Marty?
Yes.
And Commissioner Luciano votes yes. All three commissioners have voted in favor of this. License is approved. And our final special one-day alcohol license is Katherine McKean, and that's October 28th.
So Kathy McKean is present today. This is for the 150th gala event. There was just questions, like about like who's serving, if it's like a vendor that already holds a license. Last time I spoke with Kathy McKean, she informed me that the people from the 150th committee were supposed to be the ones serving. So if that's the case, we just need to make sure that they are safe, they're tip certified, crowd management.
Yeah, Kathy, is there someone in the business that's like kind of taking the point on this?
Yes, there was some confusion around a liquor license for the gala. So that the Friends of City Hall will hire tip serving third bartenders and will purchase liquor from the correct distributors and will be therefore in charge of, serving.
Okay, and if it's done legally, that usually is through somebody who's holding a license currently, right? You can't buy from the distributor. So,
Once we approve the special one day, they have to go through the distributor, it says it on the application,
Okay.
so there shouldn't be an issue.
and so they have access to the distributor
Yeah,
with the
as long as
license.
If they,
Okay.
as long as they have the one day, my thing was
Okay.
more of who's gonna be serving,
Yeah.
you know, like all alcohol is open bar. And we don't want something to happen because too much alcohol is being poured.
Yeah.
The
So,
bartenders who were supposed to be hired through the log cabin to do this, will be doing this paid for by the Friends of Holyoke City Hall.
Okay, so it's people who are currently employed.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing. What we want.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess I'm just a little, because it's all alcohol, I'm a little confused that the organization needs to be a nonprofit.
She is nonprofit.
Okay, that was my question. Okay. Okay, great, because that's the only, for all alcohol, the requirement is
I understand.
to be nonprofit, so gotta ask the question, because I,
understand. And I have our 501c3 if you'd like to see that.
oh, no, I'm sure,
Okay.
as long as
You're good.
Alec's seen it, you're great. Thank you. Jose, any other questions or anything?
No, she's playing pretty good.
Okay, and is everything in?
So I'm waiting for the liquor liability policy. She did send me an email receipt that is being worked on, and I was also wanting to see if you guys could waive the $30 fee because it is a city event.
So I'm more than happy to do that. We have had pushback on waiving fees in the past.
Yeah, I think this is a little different because it is. It's basically a city hall
Yeah, I'll
event,
I'll
so
approve it and see what happens.
Should we do the waive the event contingent upon the mayor's okay?
Yes,
How's that?
okay.
So we're gonna prove it to not charge you the $30 fee, but it's gotta be okayed by the mayor.
So I'll email her, and don't have to do anything, just when you receive the liquor liability policy, just email that to me, and then I can get the license ready.
So I make a motion.
Sure, thank you.
Move to approve contingent upon receipt of liquor liability insurance and with approval of a waiver of the fee contingent upon the mayor's approval.
Second that.
Jose seconds that. Commissioner Marty, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Cray, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Commissioner Luciano votes yes, so all three commissioners have voted to approve this license. I wish you well on the event.
See that?
Yeah.
Is it because it's right around Halloween, is it a costume?
Yes, it is.
Ah. Okay, now we're on to open air licenses and we have 23 of them.
So we can do the first three, from my understanding, the rest of them are for the market fair, so we can kind of take 4 through
23 together?
23
Now the first three do separate or together?
together because those are for Cable City Food Festival,
Right.
Okay,
and they have their food permit.
so these are open air licenses and we have Diomaris Gomez doing business as DG Customs. This is October 14th. And it's a temporary open air. Nicole Ortiz doing business as Crave Food Truck, October 14th, also temporary. And Victor Davila doing business as Buckle Up on October 14th, as well as a temporary. Well, they're all temporary because they're only for one event. So we really don't ask on anything on these.
No, they're just vendors participating in the event. Number 1 and number 3 are like miscellaneous. Number 2 does have their food permit with the Board of Health.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's pretty simple.
Right, because the truck needs the license to operate anyway in general.
Plus a temporary.
Okay, I want to make a motion. Commissioner Correa, do you have anything to add? Okay.
No.
Approve all three?
Okay, I second that. Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes, for approval.
Commissioner Marty? Yes, and Commissioner Luciano votes yes. All three open air licenses have been approved. So now we're gonna do 4 through 23. All right, here we go.
So Kathy, cause Kathy's running, sorry. Kathy's running the market fair, and just to clarify, all these vendors are for the market fair?
Yes,
Okay. perfect.
yeah,
So
except for, the hot dog cart one,
They're gonna do,
and they're doing, all of them.
okay, so they'll have
Okay.
3 parts.
They'll have one car, but they're doing all of the ones on Race Street. The
Okay,
car show, the
Yeah.
brick race and the makers.
that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that they were just, they were for Ray Street and not High Street.
Yeah, no, they're just for Race Street on that.
I'm just gonna read them off.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Talia, Lefton, October 14th. These are all, and they're all temporary. And they're all October 14th. So I'll just read the names. Thank you. So Talia, Lefton, then Luz,
Yeah, Luis Colon.
Luz Cologne doing business as Lucy Creations. Lori Charette doing business as Two Sisters Creative Design. Dan Manson. Sarah Pike doing business as Freefall Laser. Grace Morrill doing business as Whip City Ceramics. Beth Montemagni doing business as Creative Change Glass Creations. Dave McBride doing business as PD McBride. BJ Simonzi doing business as Wrap It Up Handmade. Marble Cabria doing business as Cabria Customs and More. Delana Cormier doing business as WS Forever Jewelry. Eric Dumas doing business as Twisted Emporium. Chelsea Council doing business as Tiny Bee Stationery. Oh, that's cute. Hala Carter doing business as Hala's Jewelry and Art. Alex DeRosier doing business as Alexis Creative Spark. Sarah Miller doing business as Sophie's Pottery. Kevin Boyd doing business as Twisted Creations. Christy Beseeker Studios. Jennifer Carr doing business as Liberal Arts Pop-Up. And Maria Rivera doing business as Dolce Ambicion. Thank you. Quite the list.
So the only thing I'm missing is payment, but Kathy McKean is aware that, the chamber is gonna cover all the vendor permits, so once I receive payment, I can release the permits.
I'll move to approve pending payment work.
Second that. And Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes for approval.
Commissioner Marty?
Yes.
And Commissioner Luciano votes yes. All three commissioners have approved. Good luck with that event. You're gonna be a busy person for next next 4. Well, you've been busy to get all this stuff together, but so you got on the 14th and the 28th, exactly 2 weeks apart. Well, good thing they're not on the same weekend.
It is. Because then by the end of October, I am taking off a little.
Good,
You
To
should.
the beach.
you deserve it.
Oh.
Thank you.
Take care. Good luck with your event.
Okay.
So we have 2023 automatic amusement device license for Kittleton Inc. 50 Holyoke. Why do I have the auto? Oh, wait.
That's at the Holyoke Mall.
Head one. I just went ahead one. Sorry.
This is the, these are vending machines, 3 vending machines, this new company put inside the Holyoke Mall, so they're just, it is point operated,
A skill crane.
I think it's 3 or 4. I think it's 4.
4, and then it says skill crane. Is it the thing that drops?
Yeah, like, they have a lot of them in round 1, it's like an ending now.
So you like position it and you drop and it tries to get the prize.
So they
Yeah.
put first in the Holyoke Mall, so he's just getting his permit for it.
Move to approve.
Second that? Commissioner,
There's no contingencies.
No.
Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Marty?
Yes.
And Commissioner Luciano votes yes. All three commissioners have voted in favor. All right. Now we're on to 2023. It's a new motor vehicle license for Eloy Arocho doing business as Supreme Body Work LLC on 41 North Summer Street. So this was an existing business.
This was an existing business that let the license last for 2 years, so they had to go through the city council process, get approved for the usage. And then now they're coming here to get their repair license. It is a new owner. It is a new name, it's a new entity, but the gentleman brought me everything that's required, like everything.
I recognize the address. This is the former
Holyoke body,
Holyoke body, so Mark Paraiso's business.
yeah.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Oh, wait, I just had a general question first. Because you said they let it lapse for 2 years. Are they, is this a new, have they been operating or has it been closed?
I don't know.
Okay, I was just curious.
I don't know. I know this guy's squad hit them on Saturday and he was in here Monday morning applying for this permit.
Oh, because they figured out he didn't have it. Okay. So we got a motion and a second. Commissioner Marty, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Commissioner Correa
Yes.
and Commissioner Luciano votes yes to approve this new motor vehicle license. And it was good to know that the Flex God was there, so we don't have to worry. There's nothing else.
Good luck. They got a big shoe to fill in that area.
The new owner Eloy, he seems like a very, like he had all his stuff in order, so I think it is gonna be like a good, I think it's gonna be good.
Okay.
Great. So now we're on to other business and we have old business. And the first one is car and truck Max Auto Sales, 395 Maple Street.
So there's nothing, Michael, in here for this. This was the complaint that was received last month by Deb. That he didn't want to reimburse, so Deb, the complaint woman called me this morning and it's been resolved, so she just wanted me to thank you guys.
Good resolution.
Oh, great.
Glad to hear that.
Very glad to hear that.
Hope people do that more often, actually.
Yes. That's that.
Next, we have the Policies and Procedures Manual Review.
I would move to go out of order.
Okay.
Have people waiting.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is, are you here for the complaint?
Sure, yeah.
No, I was sorry, sorry for the woman. So these three are here for the one-stop liquor store.
Okay, so you want to, so let's make a motion to go out of, or you made the motion to go, well, we have to figure out which one.
Just to articulate a little more clearly, I move to go out of order to take up new business. I said, Havni, or Havni Inc., doing business One Stop Liquor, 163 Suffolk Street.
I
Second that.
second that. Oh, second. Commissioner Marty, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Commissioner Luciano votes yes. So we will take this out of order. So now we're moving down to John V. Inc. doing businesses One Stop Liquor Store.
So this business is on the agenda, because we have received 3 complaints in the month of September. You guys have the 3 complaints in front of you. One of the complaints provided pictures. The email shows the dates all the complaints came in. The email was forwarded to the mayor and the chief of police. Back in March, there was another complaint regarding this business and we have brought them in for a hearing. So that's why they're on the agenda today.
So I know, I have read Daphne Board's message that was received directly. I have read and received Stan Gaddison's message, which was received directly. But I don't recall seeing Sarah Myers-Edwards' message until just now.
Really?
So, and it may be that it just got buried in my email box, which can easily happen. So may I just ask for a moment? 'Cause it's
Yep,
slightly blank.
absolutely. Yep.
And I want to make sure I read all pertinent information before we go forward.
Jose, do you have it or do you want me to forward that to you real quick?
No, I have it.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate the time. I read it, but I'd like to read it again.
Oh, boy.
Michael, you asked me for police reports?
Yes, were you able to obtain any information?
There's nothing,
There have been no police, there's been no calls for service.
no. And I know one of the emails they provided, the officer's name that, and there's no report.
Why is that?
I can't speak on that. I'm not sure, but I went as far as 3 months and there's been nothing.
Okay.
Not to one stop.
Right next to the address across the street where people will be calling from.
There's been nothing. I did 161 through 165 Suffolk Street and there's been nothing, no reports.
So the report for the brawl. Where.
Yeah, the person, excuse me, guy. Can
Oh,
the person?
sorry.
So would you come up and so thank you, sorry.
Microphone.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Daphne Ford, I own the property at 162 Suffolk Street, I live a block away at 197 Middle Street.
Thank you.
And
Oh, no, keep speaking.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry, so I was just asking a question if like when, you know, there's a 10-person brawl that happened and my tenant, called the police about this because obviously, you know, baseball bats and people were being knocked on the ground and it was right out in front of my house and, you know, across the street was the one stop. And she called the police and sent in the video to the police. You know, there's a record, I have a record of that email too, she forwarded it to me and there's, you know, the officer listed an email. Clearly something happened, clearly they showed up, so I don't have any idea why it's not in police records.
Honestly, I can't speak on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
police,
I mean-
but
Yeah, I mean, we try.
I mean,
the commissioner,
Get it.
Yeah.
Yes,
For everybody.
I mean, they show up like fairly regularly because there's people who are passed out on the sidewalk.
and then nothing gets reported to us.
Yeah,
So
so-
without,
and I think that's a big problem that we're gonna need to address, because
Yes.
we should be getting reports, and the fact that we're not, and that residents are telling us that there's a problem. We're gonna need to get someone from the police here
So.
next
And-
month
I mean-
to deal with that issue.
Yep.
The other incident that happened on Mother's Day, Sunday, you know, it doesn't directly involve the one stop, but there was a shooting right there. Like, there was a car that came through that intersection and started shooting bullets. I mean, every cop in Holyoke showed up about 20 minutes later and started collecting casings on the ground. So that had to have been there had to be a report of that. But that was back in May, and it was Mother's Day, so I was there.
yeah,
Can you
I
look into that?
I could look into that, but I don't know how the shooting has to do with one stop. You know,
That's.
yeah,
I do want to explore further the melee, because I think it's, and one of the things that's not clear, and Mr. Geddes, Ms. Meyer, Sembler, are not here to confirm this, but my sense is that many of these complaints are because this was a fairly disconcerting incident that caused 3 people to respond, and we are talking about the same incident and not 3 separate mailings.
Yeah.
Is my sense, but I can't really completely tell that, because there's not a date assigned for each of these. But I'm fair to assume that,
Yes.
okay. And I will say that there is no rational reason for us to assume a drive-by has any relationship to any business nearby. But the melee, based on the other information that's here, I think we do want to hear from the business owners, because I think it is fair to make some circumstantial assumptions that the place that's selling liquor is why that's a location where a melee store is going to occur. And how do we solve that? I know the locations of all the people who would have responded to this close by, know the neighborhood fairly well, I think we all do. You know, and so, I will say, you know, this is the second time we've been here, and I was actually, to be honest, somewhat pleased in the short term with the responsiveness that we saw last time. I specifically asked that an adjustment be made to a sign that the flag in the neighborhood, saw that was done for a period of time. I think with the trash absolutely improved. You know, over the long haul, I gotta be honest, it's like you're watched when it's a fresh issue. And it kind of gets away later on, but you're there every day. And I think we can see in some of the narratives here, there is some indication of that on that. So with that context, do you have any, I mean, I'm kind of.
Well, I'm ready for the owner to come up,
I think
and
that's-
at first I have a general question, so do you want to speak on this?
And I want to give you that context. So you
Nita Patel, who is the,
please come to the microphone, there are colleagues.
State,
Nita Patel, is the, a person on the license, the manager. He is the owner too, he's the husband of Nita Patel. I'm just here to help him because he don't understand too much in English.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm not aware of the previous, some of the incidences, so.
okay, and state your name, please.
I'm Yogesh Patel.
Okay,
And has Mr. Patel been able to follow our conversation?
okay, so my first question is, how long have you been in business here? How long have you had this business?
12 years.
You had it for 12 years, okay, that was my first question, and then, what? This is bad, what do you have to say about it?
I'm not aware of any situations what happened.
Well, what does he have to say?
What does he have
about
to say about it? This is terrible.
it? Is he the one running operations on a daily basis, or is it?
Yes, he is the-
Okay. So he is the one there daily.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I mean, do you have anything else you wanna add anything?
I just don't know what it's
So-
complain about, that's all. If I can see the picture,
Have you not seen these documents?
I never seen it because his wife was out of town and.
So this is their first time. As soon as the complaint came in, I issued the letter right away, certified. They did receive the certified letter, I want to say a week to 2 weeks ago. And nobody has reached out to try to see what the incident's about. So that's why they don't have this,
Okay.
but they can,
Should be shared now, right?
absolutely, it's
Yeah.
public record. So,
Then we can wait, maybe not.
so this is the order. So this is the first complaint that came in with the pictures. This is the second complaint on the 28th, and then the third complaint on the 29th.
The only, my last general question, maybe legal, you could help us with, is this standing out in front of a store a legal thing in general?
So a couple things. First, you know, there was somebody here that says City of Holyoke. Is that us?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay. There's nobody here from the city solicitor's office, right?
No, so this is just a discussion where
Right.
we can't,
Yeah.
if we're gonna do anything, it needs to be next meeting with an attorney present.
Right,
So
yeah.
this is just discussion.
Because I'm not, I'm an attorney, but I'm not really authorized or in a position to render legal advice to this body. I
Right.
can offer advice based on my knowledge and experience, which includes knowing a thing or two about legal issues with you as colleagues. So I just want to put that on the record and just be very clear. I'm not putting on a lawyer hat here, and nor should I.
Okay,
However, I can say to you, there are city ordinances that prohibit loitering. There are some needs that a property owner can choose to do regarding signage, regarding loitering. And it is very difficult for the police to enforce if there's not a no trespass or no loitering sign present. By the way, if as I'm speaking, there's a language barrier, please stop me so you can have an
I can
opportunity.
explain later on. So that's not a problem.
Sure, yeah, and so, you know, that is kind of a loitering issue. Of course, it is also illicit to have open alcohol containers on any public street. So that's, and those pictures suggested, but they're, well, no, there's a guy obviously drinking something.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the darkness of the picture, can I say that's a can of alcohol? I really, you know, I can assume it. A little cleaner, yeah. But you know, I mean, I think the sense of this is neighbors are seeing it. We know people are leaving their establishment and this goes on, and we know that is a violation of city ordinance by those individuals.
And
Okay.
state.
I think there are probably some state laws involving open alcohol in the public, but I think the city ordinances are what more commonly get enforced locally.
But I'm saying,
defer to you
if
on
we,
that.
but if we reported, if this got reported to the ABCC, they would want to investigate.
It will come down.
They
So-
will come down and take
That's
a look.
one question,
Yeah.
that this is happening outside the store. What we can do is to control what he can do it or stop.
Not let people stand in front of your store.
So,
But he told me that every so often he goes, you know, because he goes off and tell them to move it, and people just move it. If there is a cop coming, a cruiser coming, they just get out from there for a short time and then they're back.
Right.
You know? So the people even put the knife, everything, you go come outside, you know. They just like more of an argument for them every time they come here, you know, I don't know,
Right.
I'm inside.
so couple questions about that, because it is hard to control the behavior of patrons when they've left your establishment, and yet you kind of have a responsibility to figure something out. So first of all, when there's something like somebody brandishing a weapon, you want to talk about state laws, okay? That's assault. And assault with a deadly weapon to boot, that's a serious crime. What is, does your camera system capture images of individuals who are doing this? And is it clear enough so that the guy who pulled a knife on you could be identified holding the knife to you?
Anybody knife, please say, come outside. I say,
Basically, it's a verbal arguments, like if you say something,
And the-
they just say this.
3-4 times I broke the glass, I call cops, nothing find out anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because too many broke the glass, my daughter working, and you know, this why crying, you know,
So,
sometimes.
yeah, I mean, which, you know.
Are we,
Yeah,
excuse
Al,
me,
Yeah.
are we
please.
contacting the police every time events like that happen within your store?
Right now, I call.
Did you hear my colleague's question?
Couple times I call, but.
How often you call?
No, now, 2-3 months before.
Few months back he called,
Yeah.
but he don't call all the time, because he has to deal with those people all the time, and then it's kind of
So he's
related
not
that.
your
threatening
But
them.
that then makes you responsible if you're not
And I-
following the proper procedures and calling the
Every time
police.
you Go outside of my no parking lot, I sign also, when you stay over there, stay other side, right, you know?
He's always there.
Yeah, I told, okay, go, right now my other parking lot, you are the sleeping night time also, you know?
They're sleeping
And
outside.
sometime I call cops, he broke the my cars, everything, you know, the tires, you know,
And yeah.
Is
the
he
police
buying-
never say nothing.
but he.
Is he buying alcohol from you?
Yes.
It's one person. There is one person.
Different people sometimes,
If
but right now the my parking
same
lot,
person is doing.
the seating the, you know, 2 people, one lady and the right now, nighttime sleeping, everything, I told, if you can move, but he say, no, I'm homeless, you know,
And
But then you're-
sitting on property you own.
no, my
There is another person.
other person,
Outside the parking lot is not his.
Okay,
yeah.
do you know the identity of the person who owns the property where they're camping?
Angry cancer.
Yeah. The cancer.
He's what people, yeah.
Okay, because yeah, that's a person who can be taking some action on the
I
traffic.
told,
Probably all, I mean, I would suggest him to look at, put a trespassing, kind of sign outside.
So,
And then call cops more often whenever this kind of incident happens.
And then I call up, sometimes he's go back, and calls coming and go back,
They just leave the property for short time and then come back again.
Obviously, we need to understand that anything that is happening outside your property, nearby your establishment, is affecting your establishment itself. So you need to try to do the best you can to try to control some of that. And if it has to be that you need to call the cops every single time, then every single time it is. You own that to yourself, and you own that to the neighbors in the area who want to live peacefully.
so I agree.
I agree,
but
'cause
I've
I'm-
got another thought as well.
Okay, and I wanna add, like, if you guys don't start handling this, my position would be not to renew your license at some point, because this is not fair. Neighbors, they pay their taxes. They have a right to have peace, and if your business is attracting this type of behavior, the solution is for your business not to be there.
And another thing I'm concerned about is it appears you've got a clientele who have sort of built a culture of aggressiveness and dangerousness around the alcohol that they're purchasing from you. And so you have a role in that. They wouldn't have the alcohol, you hadn't sold it to them. Yet you might be in a pretty threatening situation to say, you can't be my customer anymore, right? How do you solve that? And I've got a few thoughts.
I mean, it's basically like the one guy that is always there, you know his name, he's selling drugs, and I'm
The squad guy, right? Yeah.
He's always there, he's always selling drugs, and I've overheard him saying like, well, talking about his boss or whatever. I need to have a beer during the day, I need to start out with beer, because I'm not gonna just be here on the corner all day, without a beer. So basically, there's a drug operation happening all the time there. They feel as if it's their corner, they own that spot, they're there, and they're using the one stop as cover. And they're buying alcohol there all the time, and
I know selling company, yeah.
I feel strongly that we all want the best. I feel like some sort of security guard or something needs to happen where they're taken seriously.
That is where I am going. I think it is extremely unfortunate that this conversation is not being heard in the presence of someone in a position of responsibility with our police department. They should be having concern, because your corner is actually a pivotal location. Everything in sight across the street from you, going all the way up Suffolk Street and in back towards Pine Street, is residential, with the exception of 2 or 3 things. One of the most important nonprofit providers of services to children in this city is your neighbor directly across the way. This is a location that deserves heightened response from our law enforcement. And so this conversation, I hope, can start creating a record where we can start working together to obtain more of that. But here's the challenge for you. You're running a business that is a contributor to the problem. I can't conclude differently. I don't think it's done with malice. I don't think it's done with intent, but here we are. You need a plan. And you need to put resources into executing a plan. We had an incident about a year ago where there was a shooting inside a licensed bar, and the license holder closed his business for a period of time while he worked with the Holyoke Police Department to develop a safety plan. And we were pleased with the result of that, I think. Don't let me speak for everybody else here, but we think that was helpful in allowing the management there to kind of turn around some of the issues that people would obviously be concerned about. I think that's an approach to seriously consider here. There are consultants that can assist with that. There are people in our police department that worked with them. The individual I'm
Not retired.
Report to us did retire.
He retired.
But the position was filled, so there is somebody who should be able to do something like that. I think that is a service that we should be advocating for at an early stage here. Because otherwise, I'm in some agreement with my colleague. I mean, we're gonna deal with this in a progressively escalating way. Okay, I don't think we're at a point now where there's penalties coming your way. But at some point, we may have to conclude that this is not a safe place for a full service liquor store to be.
But that place is there forever. Why we can't come up with some kind of solution to fix the problem rather than, he's getting punished for all these things. All he can do is improve his, call more often to the police department. He can't serve to those people, probably stop them in them, coming inside and buying alcohol, or maybe trespass those customers.
And that's
I think it's a combination. It's a
Yes.
combination of the establishment, the neighborhood, and the police department.
Yeah, we have to work.
That is where we're gonna go.
I mean, I'm in the liquor business for 35 years and I have a liquor stores around the towns from Montano, Holyoke, Chicopee, Springfield, and I go through all these things all the time. He's my cousin, by the way, and we can work it. There's a lot of times we want to throw those customers out. We do the trespassing, but then they are threatening to us, not, in the property, but when we leave the property, they are just like scared, we are scared with them because they can create any kind of problem for us. So we want to work, with the town, with the police department to improve the system,
So that's why I'm saying, my suggestion
So I think,
is put some resources in a strategy now. And let's see if the execution of a good strategy doesn't help put everybody in a better place. And I don't think that happens with just dialing the police. We've seen that that's a fairly ineffective approach.
but who else can come? I mean, we can't go and tell those people because they are drug dealers. If we go and approach them for anything, it'd be, they can do anything to us.
Detailed police that would be an expense to you for a period of time. That's one kind of solution. Security guards that are maybe less expensive over a longer period of time, but have a presence, another kind of solution. Very good security cammering and direct access to the police, so you can identify and serve trespass notices. So people can't be around your premises and can't be your customers anymore. All of these are things that come to my mind immediately, and I'm not a professional consultant.
No, I understand it, but I think if I'm looking at those pictures are the street pictures, and that's not a part of our property, if I'm not wrong. Part of this property.
So this is where we actually do need to.
Street,
Yes.
you are responsible for the street.
That's the street in
You're
front of
going
it.
inside for
That's
the
in
alcohol.
front of the store.
Drink it in front of
Yeah.
your establishment.
He's
That's
responsible.
a state violation. You're not supposed to purchase alcohol and drink in front of your establishment. You are responsible. It's like
No,
owning a house. You're
Only-
responsible
What I
for.
suggest is from my experience, those people who's hanging around, we don't serve them. Somehow we call the police department and we just, do the trespassing for them.
I think that's right, but the other two things that what I'm suggesting would help solve. A, they're already in violation just walking through your door. Not even doing business with you, if you're able to put a trespass notice out. You gotta identify the individual, you gotta find a name, you gotta find an address, it's gotta be served properly, it's a process. Next is you should look at the city map and just see where the lines are, where your sidewalks no longer stop. You do have the ability to exert control on your sidewalks, especially with loitering or people remaining on site with your product engaging in behavior. You do have control over that, okay? Once they get to a line, they can play cute little games, right? Stop further down Pine Street, stop further down Suffolk Street, but believe me, there would be a calming effect if they simply had to go to that additional level of trouble. And so, again, I think it's intentionality, it's persistence, it's a plan that is well executed. And so my suggestion, because I do think we need the city solicitor and we need other stuff, and what we don't want to do, I don't want these citizen complaints to be left unaddressed at the end of this meeting. But secondly, I do think, I mentioned this could be the start of a progressive process. It could be a bad result for you at the end of the day, but that process doesn't start today. You showed goodwill last time, you fixed the sign, you did better with the traffic. This time, the goodwill you gotta show us, I think, is a higher level. It is And I think, so the first thing I would recommend, I think Chief Pratt and Mayor Garcia need to receive a letter from us forwarding this information, saying that there is some serious conflicting information from what we've heard about outreach to the police department and what they reported when we asked for calls for service and other data. That's a problem. That's not a small
Yes,
thing.
it's a big problem.
That's not something you caused, and it's not something the neighbor caused, and it's something for all of us to be dissatisfied with and to push for more. I think it should be copied to the ward counselor, Counselor Givner.
That's not.
It's Ward 1,
You're Ward 1.
right there, and it's my line, yeah, so it's.
Okay, so like, is your side of the street 4 and the store is 1?
No, it's it's like 1 block over is the dividing line.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's actually, it is Ward 1, right?
Oh, thank you. So Counselor Garcia, then
Rivera.
Rivera. You got my Josh and my Jen's on my side.
Ward 1 council.
Yeah, Ward 1. Yeah. Oh, right, Jenny Garcia,
Okay.
rather it is.
Rivera.
Yeah, right, Rivera.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, this
Your
agent.
name straight, will you?
And so, so I think that outreach as a follow-up from this, and asking that we have some report back on a response at our, November meeting. That would be my suggestion.
Yes, I definitely think it's an issue that we're not seeing police response, and that's something that we need to look at as a city as to why that's going on.
Right.
And I do like.
And we need to hear from the police department. We need to
So
hear.
you wanna,
Yeah.
you want a response before the November meeting, but a response of what? Of like why?
I'd like a presence of an appropriate city official.
I'd
A
like-
mayor, and a police chief, and a city councilor who can figure out who comes and speaks.
Yeah, I want
to tell
someone,
us what
I would like a
police-
representative from the city at the next meeting from the police department. That's what I'd like to see.
Right.
Um,
And then, you know, again, being an advocate for better public safety in your neighborhood is not your job specifically. You're running a business, but demonstrating that you're taking some role in that advocacy. Again, I think is that follow-up and that goodwill building where don't say it's not my job. It's like, how can we
No,
get
it's
this work?
good, you know, I was talking to him before we came here and he was telling me basic information. And I told him one of my business has some security because they just come certain hours, they hang around and they see somebody or tell them to move it or they, call the police and file it, those kind of things.
That sounds perfect.
So something like that will work probably.
Yes.
To try that for a short time, see if that improves it. If that improves it better, hopefully after you sort of, because I don't know if you can carry that kind of over it all. But we'll try to begin it and see if it changes.
and signage, we want to see also, that includes signage about no loitering.
So I would actually rather hear from the police department about their recommendations. I'm telling you stuff I've seen before, stuff I deal with as a property manager.
It's
Yeah.
not a big cost, so we will go ahead and put all those signage too.
Right.
See if that improves it, we'll try to get some kind of a security for certain hours, I can't
Yeah.
promise for all the hours and. Probably, if we can also stop those people who's creating a problem, drinking outside the door, we won't serve them. All those things will probably improve everything. I think that's the best we can do it and the rest of the police department. Or,
We don't want to create an escalating situation
No, no.
with your safety either. That's not our interest at all.
It's
yeah.
that would affect
Not
the
just-
entire neighborhood, I mean, it's not just,
No.
it's affect us too.
Right.
because, they're not gonna just say it's you, they'll say it's us too, so.
It spills over, there's no question.
Do some stores, when they don't want to serve people, do they put their picture up? Like saying you can't be,
I've seen different things in different
If
places.
they are doing the soft lifting or something, you can put their picture, but, if he works, his family and his wife works, so I don't think too many outsiders working, they know most of the faces with the trouble.
well, just so they know, and other people know, hey, if I drink outside your store, my picture's gonna get put up and I'm no longer gonna be served. And that kind of gives a warning to other people too.
I don't know how legal that is.
I-
Checked out.
Yeah,
Well, if they're
This-
drinking,
this- Yeah, this is where I think advice from our city solicitor
yeah.
and our other public safety officers can advise on those suggestions rather than,
So we don't want.
yeah, 'cause I'm not-
Legal problem, so So definitely, if we can, by law, if we can put their picture without having any trouble, that's fine, we'll do it.
And I think that's why you recommended
Well,
the security plan from the police.
Develop a plan, right? Right, let's not brainstorm it here, let's work with public safety professionals, so that the plan is like done as well as it can be done.
Yeah.
That would be a great outcome.
So can that be also a second part of the letter, that this business needs some advice from the police? Is in need of security advice from the police.
Right. Yeah, that our discussion has highlighted that is a need, and we want to convey that to all these folks.
Yeah, and also for like the incident of the shooting, that property owner went and did the safety plan. He did that.
Yeah.
So if they want to do that, they're more than welcome to
Right.
go and create a safety plan. That doesn't need to be a recommendation. That is something they can go and do and work with the police department.
You are articulating my intent. We are clearing the air here and making suggestions. We're not making demands, and we're not penalizing at this point.
But, so Michael, my suggestion was in the letter about that safety plan was to add, in our letter where we're saying to the mayor and the police, hey, we're getting these complaints from residents and you don't have anything on file, part one. Part two, and we'd like you to reach out to we'd like a contact for who this business can reach out to at the police to develop a safety plan. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
So you guys going to send the data to this.
that's right.
Yes, we are gonna do something.
So if you get a copy of it, you can definitely go ahead and contact them.
So we're sending out a letter to see who you can contact. We're not creating a safety plan for you. We're not doing the legwork. Once I get the contact and forward it to you, everything else is on you.
No problem.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Right, and again, that's somewhat outside our competency. We issue and deny licenses. That's what we do.
No, I understand it, but we can do whatever in our control, best of our control, and hopefully that will improve the system.
We'll start to, and yes, if you could also step up, like you mentioned about the security and different things, if you could also start that too, while this is going, because your problem's gonna be there tomorrow.
I know.
I mean, they were there at 10 o'clock this morning.
So, sure, because he's telling the people who is outside, he goes every day and tells them, they don't listen to him.
Yeah, yeah.
So the only option we have is call the cops and do the test customers. And not to serve them up with the staff.
Security guard there for just a few weeks or something,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
have somebody else who is there.
Nothing is, and outside people.
The what?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay.
Neither, right? Yeah, never.
nothing we can suggest is the golden bullet that solves everything forever. But you try what we know has worked in other places in the past with some persistence, and sometimes you see a change in circumstances. I run a number of apartments in Holyoke for my nonprofit, and I often remind my staff, because it grinds you down. Persistence is the one thing you never want to forget about. Yeah, just the thought I share with my staff.
And Alex wanted me to mention to make sure, because it is against the law,
Yeah.
for people to consume alcohol while inside. It's also legal for them to consume it even on the, I mean, that's, and if they're doing it on your property, once they get off your property, you can't do anything about someone consuming alcohol. But they shouldn't flip that tab until they're either inside, while they're inside or on your sidewalk.
We're not just being quaint calling them package stores. Take your package and go home.
I honestly, I think we were not there, but that's right, they are not supposed to open, but there are so many people before even you say something, they're open, all you do is tell them not to do it again, it's okay, we won't do it. You know, there are customers does all the time, so, not that we tell them to do it, but, you know, we'll try our best to tell them not to do all these things. Hopefully it works. We have a good camera system inside to the security, so, if something needed, we can always provide pictures too.
I think it's a challenging situation for all of us.
But I think it's starting with some kind of a security system and, you know, working with the police department will hopefully improve.
Yeah.
We appreciate your willingness to best efforts. We do. I think.
Yeah. Yes, and for your security cameras inside, can people see, like they can see the cameras, but can they see that they're being recorded? So they know so if someone flips it open,
What?
they know that they were just recorded doing that. Because here's the thing too, if the ABCC was in there, because they go in undercover, they'll penalize you. You'll get in trouble.
I know, I mean, I dealt with this, like I said, I'm with this bigger business for 35 years, all in retail and different. Things happens, we complain about it. I mean, I can tell the customer, sign saying it's not, you can't bring inside, but if they open it before we say anything, all we can do is throw them out, but not to serve them alcohol again, you know?
Right.
Nothing else we can do it, you know?
Okay, is it the same people opening?
Once in a while, probably, I don't think it's a consistent problem.
I mean, they provided proof, they provided literally somebody drinking, hanging out inside.
So
They
for
say
that,
it operates like a bar, it's not a liquor store, they say it's a bar. So if people are saying it's a bar, it's because they're drinking inside.
Yeah, you have to
And there's
act out.
there's proof,
that-
they provided
that
pictures.
complaint came to him and he stopped it already. Nobody hangs around inside. Also, there was a table for Pino that he is moving that too, so there won't be anybody sitting or standing.
Yeah, I think
Here's-
diligence on that is
Here's
critical for your businesses.
Here's the other, sorry, Michael,
Sorry.
sorry. Here's something else too. The fire department is very strict about what operates as a bar and what doesn't. If I hear that people are drinking inside again, I'm gonna wanna call the fire department. They're gonna come down. They're gonna look at your business and say, you're operating at a bar. We're gonna require you to put in a $50,000 sprinkler system.
That's not going to happen. It's. I think
Well, I'm just telling you,
last meeting-
the fire department's very strict.
And so is the ABCC, you can't be.
So more than fire department, I tell you, if ABCC finds out, they will shut it down.
That's right.
More than.
Yeah, so don't leave yourself at risk. Yeah, don't let people do that.
Because
Have we-
all your, yeah, we're almost done. Because all has to happen is someone has to go to send your neighbor, one of your neighbors that take these pictures. All they have to do is contact the ABCC and they'll be in big trouble.
I'll help you to put a plan together, hopefully by next meeting or next couple of months, things will improve it, and you know, like, come back.
Well, I mean, things need to improve next week. Let's be honest, like.
It will happen, but it will happen, it, you know,
You know.
probably.
Like watching some sort of 10-person baseball bat brawl again, like this is just, that was like insane. It got to a point, you know, I mean, it just got to a point that's like, the neighbors are not, no one's happy with this.
All I can say is we will put a plan together, work with the city or police department to whatever needs to be done. To improve the, you know, our property surrounding stuff.
Because I'm gonna say, if by next month, and please come back next month, if there's not drastic improvement, I think all this information should go to the ABCC.
All we can do it, on behalf of all I'm telling you, we can put a plan together, we'll work it, we'll try to improve it. And at that point, like I said, it, you know, with whatever the property line it is, you know, I'll make sure that, you know, he control whatever in his control. Put a security guard and improve it, and hopefully
Thank you.
that will resolve the problem. you know.
Yes,
And after many people.
Yes, we have.
From that property and do something else, then I believe the city or police department has to come back and do something else.
And I think that the good plan will work for him too, we don't want.
We want to,
I mean.
he calls me all the time, and I'm here to help him also. But like I said, if you deal with these people, they are just tough to deal with.
Yes.
I know that.
They are not easy, they don't listen to you. You know, if the cop comes in and does something, probably it will help us a little bit, but if we call them, they're just threatening. They're ready to fight
If you
people.
guys are trying and really like be consistent and you guys are trying and you feel like nothing's working and you're putting in all this work to try to make everybody happy, make a business, give us a call.
Sure.
Inform us, communication goes a really long way, and if I can contact anybody or help you during this process, I'll be more than happy. But it's like the commissioner, when you already said, it's consistent, they have to be consistent.
Consistent also meaning calling the police all the time.
Be like picking them out, not just whenever somebody complains, like sometimes, business owners do everything they can do, and sometimes things don't get better, so that's when just contact us. If you need to contact us, just contact us.
There's no motion before the board right
No.
now, right? And we don't need a motion for something like a letter to be issued. Okay,
But,
I kind of move this item for tabling at this point.
yeah.
Yes.
If-
Us.
I'm sure you will be present next time if we get another.
Contact whoever, we just.
Yep, I will. I'll work on it next week.
And definitely I'll help you to put a plan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very
Thank
good.
you. So I want to second that motion to table till next month. Commissioner Cray, how do you vote?
Yes.
To table, yes. Commissioner
Yes.
Barnardi? Yes, and Commissioner Luciano votes yes to table. Thank you everyone for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, now, just let me find myself. Give me 1 minute.
We're back
Bye,
to
have a good
business.
one.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Good night. So now we're policy and procedures manual, we're back to. Okay, so there's a,
I looked at it.
Oh,
so just so it's really, so it's really explicit and transparent. I highlighted what I added.
Okay.
And so I'll give you a minute to look at it. And that end when we can edit.
I think those are fine.
Okay, so just to be completely transparent, I added in a 30-day. If the business is gonna
I
be,
saw
I
it.
thought that was fair.
Yep.
We actually copied this basically from Chicopee. And I thought it was pretty thorough. And necessary that they know how many, that they need to give notice around a certain amount of days. Now, I don't know if the 5 days means before, it could mean after. I take it as it means if they've closed their business, they have 5 days to notify us. Not 5, because I don't say before, so I
Right.
assume it means, yeah, and I think that's fair.
Right, I mean. yeah,
Could be a fire
Right,
that closes your business. How would they notify us 5 days before the fire?
right, and that's the question of the proposition you used. Instead of, you could use before, you could use after. Of is a little bit ambiguous. Maybe there's some room for ambiguity here, so that we're not like trying to trip people up. It'd be nice if they told us 5 days before they closed.
Right.
It would be a violation if they didn't notify us 5 days after. We're not trying to be unreasonable with these people operating their businesses. But yeah, finally having a let us know rule we can point to, I think it's going to be very helpful.
Yes.
And I'm always happy to learn from our neighbors in Chicopee anyway.
yes.
Yes.
Commissioner Correa, any comments?
Yeah, no, that sounds pretty good. I like it.
Okay, great. Now, I actually don't want to spend a lot of time on what we said to review because I had a suggestion.
Uh-huh.
It's very repetitive. The section we were going to cover tonight.
3.1, but it's actually easy, I think. But here's why. That repetitive device has some utility. So it's the same thing. Oh, so Jose, you're familiar with what we're talking about, that after every category of license, it has this language that was drafted in 2017 that talks specifically about how progressive discipline is going to work.
Right.
And
It's
so
part of the language of the paperwork.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the only one where I didn't think it was appropriate was on the 1-day licenses.
Okay.
Because if you look underneath it, it's like, well, you're gonna suspend a 1-day license for 30 days?
Yeah.
Huh? You
No,
know,
yeah, I don't think for one day it should say that, but it should say something like if
I-
you do mess up, you won't be granted another.
right, it will be noted, it will be documented.
Right.
Here's the suggested language. That, poor. Actually, this may need some better drafting.
It's okay.
later on, but poor performance when entrusted with a 1-day license shall be documented and taken into consideration when future applications for 1-day licenses are made.
Correct, yeah.
Yep.
Give yourself a bad track record, you won't be getting the licenses.
Right.
Can we be a little more specific and just literally say poor performance when entrusted with a 1-day license will result in not being renewed future licenses? I mean, just like really
So the thing is, you would have to spend a lot of time defining what poor
Yes.
performance means if you're gonna do that. Give ourselves the leeway to
Yes.
deal with what's practical in specific situations.
Yeah, basically, like if we get any complaints or reports that,
Right.
like, for example, this event we just approved, if there's any issues, then.
Right,
Obviously, when they come apply again, there will be like questions, or you guys wouldn't grant it.
right.
So
We
you did
might
what
not
we-
wanna say no, but we might wanna say you're hiring a cop,
Exactly.
right, something like that.
You said poor performance when trustable will result in.
Will be documented and taken into consideration for future applications for one-day licenses.
We'll, sorry. We'll go back and forth on the
Yeah.
verbiage.
But then I would strike all that other stuff for the one-day licenses, because it just doesn't fit there.
Yeah, no.
But it fits everywhere else. And then I only had one other suggestion under cordials.
Yes.
So in the cordial section, you
What-
can't, that's the last of all of them. I think it's like page 8.
You guys still wanted to, I wasn't done with the one day.
Oh, I'm sorry, please.
So I want to explicitly know what you want to strike.
Okay, everything in section
Two.
Yep, the whole thing. Just
And
doesn't,
so this becomes section 2.
correct.
Great. That's all. I just want to be, because I kind of, last month when I was doing the updates, my notes weren't the best, so I want to make sure I have good notes this time, or else they're pulling my
I hear
hair
you.
out.
I'm in the same place.
Okay,
So now you see the repetitive nature here makes sense because it fits what we're talking about, including with the seasonals. Now, the one thing is, the section 1 in each of those, I'm kind of going if you say so every time, because it's always deferring to the state laws and the processes that, we don't decide on, but the
Okay.
ABCC does. And I'm taking it for granted that when this was drafted, that was what was on the writer's mind.
can I understand about, I get your point about the repetitive. Can we at least sort it so that we do on premise first, like put them, kind of
Yeah, if
group
you
them?
want- you
I want
wanna
to
look
group
through
them better.
Sure.
So like, well, no, not walk through them. I'm just saying when they're the order, I want to change. So here's like club all alcohol, one day is number 2, hotel innkeeper, package. So on premise, the one day is like a thing by itself, but it's on premise. And then it's package store. Now it's back to restaurant all alcohol. So it went on premise, off premise, on premise. I want to do all the on premise first and then the off premise.
Sure,
Just group them differently so it's better organized.
that's fine. I acknowledge that.
Because then I think that'll be, because then you're like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, you're doing it's an on premise and they're all sectioned together.
Right.
Okay, great. I'm gonna add that. So these are gonna be reordered. The sections are gonna be slightly reordered.
Right.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
And it would just be, and I'll probably, you know what, maybe I'll do off premise first because they're a little simpler.
I think we can defer to the chair on the order.
Okay.
Bless you.
Oh,
That's more of a cough than a sneeze. Bless you anyway.
This is why I'm doing it at home and not over there.
Well, thank you for that.
perfect. Okay.
Oh,
Anything
man.
else you want to change?
Just if you go to the cordial section, one thing I picked up on that is that, and again, this is like years of working with people in business law where you meet some truly devious minds. It doesn't actually say there's any consequence if you violate the cordial part, but think about what it also said. You can't have a cordial or liqueur license unless you have a larger license. So what I think should just be said outright is any suspension of the underlying license will result in the same suspension for the cordial and liquor license. Okay,
Okay.
you got your all alcohol, you've been shut down for 30 days. Well, you're not going to legally sell cordial and liquor to like show us who's boss. You know, it's like now we got that covered too. See what I'm saying? If you
Yes.
read it by itself, it's like, yeah, but you didn't sanction that.
And they will be like, whoa.
Yeah,
Should we,
we're running a special on cordials this week.
should we also put it the other way? Any suspension of your cordial license will also result, or you can't?
I just don't see that ever happening in the real
Okay.
world.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta deal with one issue at a time.
Okay, which then tells them they need to follow their other license to the T, otherwise they're basically losing them both.
We're not
They're
giving you a
suspending
loophole.
both.
Right,
Okay,
We're
right.
not giving you a loophole,
Right.
that's all. And with that, I think that whole section is straightforward, and it's probably the section that's gonna get referred to the most. And I think it's in good order. And it makes sense, and most anybody can read it and understand what they're supposed to do. That's the point.
is there a specific term for the higher, I called it a higher, for the higher license?
So you could call it a subsidiary license or well, no, the cordial and liquor is a subsidiary
Right.
license. So you would call that the
Primary?
principal or primary would be good terms to use. Your choice.
I gotta look it up whether it's the PAL or the PLE.
PAL.
It is the PAL,
I
okay.
think so.
Let's check.
I get
I put the
that stuff
PAL,
wrong.
but I checked. I'll
I
put
get
it,
that stuff wrong all the time myself.
I'll put a check. Because Prince PAL is the person in
That's right.
school,
A person is your pal. That's one of the, yeah.
so
It is
it
PLE.
is PLE.
All right.
I wrote PAL at first and I'm like, okay, great, thanks. So we'll get the other one updated. And oh wait, we had one thing to discuss about this as well, Alex, that you wanted, that we discussed this morning about the add-in. There's a sheet.
Oh, yes, that's the.
Hours of operation.
Yes. So this
Numeral 9. Is that really for the?
is a copy of, this is from Chicopee.
Okay.
So the number 9 is not ours. This is just literally from Chicopee. Does Jose have a copy of this?
No,
Oh,
no, because I asked him if he wanted any material. but-
So why don't you leave the work?
I read it late.
Today and carry this one forward with the sections we're gonna look at next.
I'll scan it and email it to him so you can look it over.
Yeah.
Mhm.
okay.
Because my only question about this is, I just scanned it through quick. And then I think Jose does need to have access,
Yes.
probably time to look it over carefully. It's really about placement. Section 3 may make good sense, maybe some places, another place makes sense, I don't know yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I do agree, this
Well-
clarifies things that if we don't say this stuff, somebody say, hey, you didn't make that.
Okay.
rule."
And
Should
there's
be
been
figured
a
out.
lot of questions and they're like, oh, what does your rules and regulations say? And I'm just like, yeah, we just need to get it together with this book, so they have something up, like. The licensees have something to fall back onto.
Right, and our hours have been the same as Chickadee's for a long time, yeah, that makes it easy.
Yes, it's a state thing, not a city thing.
Right, I know some places can close earlier if they wanna.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna save this one for November.
And what sections are we gonna do in November?
Well,
The next one, if we're done with offer, I'll be more available. Right?
we're gonna decide where to put this next month.
Right,
So
that
we're
and-
on that.
So next month will be,
Are we looking at November 1st or November 8th?
oh, I'm just picking the sections first. Yeah, so next section we have motor vehicle. You want to just do motor vehicle next,
Yeah.
or? Okay, we'll do that second.
And what very well is,
And-
I put in my calendar the week before, review these,
Good.
worked out pretty good.
3, 3, 5.
So to Jose's question, are we meeting the 8th or the 1st?
We still have
Let's-
so many
If I
files.
could ask for the 8th, I've got a board retreat for the State Board of Education. It's gonna take place in Boston. So I could either come in remote and stay there, in which case the first is fine. For the following week, I don't have anything, I'll be there first.
Doesn't matter for me.
What's your thought there?
I'm neutral on either preference.
Okay.
We just have to look at the timing of how many weeks it's been from our last meeting, like, we have to have a meeting so often.
Okay,
I have to check my calendar because when we change a meeting.
Oh, the room doesn't available.
so it's,
Might not be
well,
able to-
if we already.
It actually-
First.
It actually be 4 weeks from now. If it's on the first.
Is that good or bad?
No, it's a whole month.
Yeah. I'm okay with the first.
Okay, let's do the first.
Okay.
Okay, I'll probably do remote, but that's fine.
And then we just have
We still have,
court late files, we can take them all together. Well, we could take one separate and then 2, 3, and 4 together, because that's for the Paper City Food Festival.
so the fourth one is also October 14th?
Yes.
That's okay. So 2, 3, and 4, 2, 3, and 4, so, okay, so next we have. So we already discussed our next meeting, which is November 1st, even though we went ahead. So next we have late files. Michael Johnson doing business as MJ Apparel. This is a temporary open air.
So he's gonna be in front of the Mented, this is the second year, last year went really well for him, but he's just doing 3 days out of all the days the Mented FX is open, which is on Main Street. He does have a DPW permit and he provided insurance.
So there's no contingencies? No. Move to approve.
Second that. Commissioner Correa, how do you vote? He's muted. No?
You're muted.
I was muted.
Yes, he
Yes.
voted yes.
Yes,
Commissioner Murray, yes, and Commissioner Luciano votes yes. And next we're gonna do the 3 open airs together, and it's Emma Febo doing business as Mexi Rico on Wheels. Oh, that's cute. October 14th. And Milsa Soto doing business as Millie's Jewelry, all October 14th, and Patricia's Freshly Squeezed Lemonade, October 14th as well. These are all temporary.
Temporary, and if we could just approve contingents of payment.
move to approve contingent to pay.
Second that, Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Murray?
Yes.
And Commissioner Luciano votes yes. All the commissioners present have voted. I gotta find out where this Mexerico is also at other times. Have you
Springfield.
tried it?
They're out of Springfield, no, but they did Fiesta Patronales. So come down to the Paper City Food Festival, you can
You'll
try
find
them.
them, yeah, that's right.
No, I think I'm in the Cape that next weekend.
I will be in California.
So we discussed our next meeting,
Yes,
and before we close, anything else to add, Commissioner Correa?
No, I'm hungry.
So Commissioner, so we're adding to the agenda, to the
October 1st, 5:15,
November 1st.
November 1st, yes.
5:15, okay, so I want to make a motion to close the meeting on Wednesday, October 4th at 6:46 PM. Can I get a second?
Second.
All those, no, so Commissioner Correa, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Marty?
Yes.
And Commissioner Luciano votes yes, so meeting is closed. Thank you.
I have to.